The year was 870,000 AD. The vast expanse of space had seen the rise and fall of countless civilizations, each more advanced than the last. The Galactic Federation, a collective of powerful species from across the universe, had long ago accepted the inevitability of their dominance. But even in this age of unparalleled technology and interstellar peace, there were things that still existed beyond their understanding. And now, the Federation was about to learn that humans, the seemingly primitive species they had long since forgotten, were not one of those things. It had been millennia since Earth's great wars had ravaged the planet. Humanity had ventured into space, exploring distant worlds and reaching beyond the stars, only to face a bitter and tragic end. But Earth had kept a secret, an emergency protocol, one devised by the last generation of humans, cryogenic sleep. It had been designed to preserve humanity in case of extinction, a contingency plan in the event of humanity's end. And while the Federation had dismissed Earth as a dead world, they couldn't have been more wrong. In a forgotten corner of the galaxy, on a ship hidden in the depths of space, humanity's last survivors slumbered. For hundreds of thousands of years, the cryopods lay dormant, the humans within them unknowing, waiting. Until, on a day like no other, it all changed. It started with a faint signal, an anomaly that caught the attention of the Galactic Federation's monitoring stations. At first, it was dismissed as a malfunction, but when the signal persisted, a few curious minds in the Federation decided to investigate. The crew aboard the exploration ship Sovereign arrived at the coordinates in what was believed to be an abandoned sector of the galaxy. The area was marked as desolate, devoid of any intelligent life. The ship's captain, Zorath, a seasoned and jaded member of the Federation, had no interest in exploring what seemed like an insignificant remnant of a forgotten world. But orders were orders. When they arrived at the derelict ship that housed the humans' cryopods, their sensors came alive with data unlike anything they'd encountered before. The ship was old, very old, but it still functioned, and within its bowels, the cryo chambers flickered with a life of their own. There were no signs of decay or damage to the structure, no indication that the humans had died out as the Federation had presumed. Captain Zorath's curiosity shifted to unease as he ordered his crew to open one of the cryopods. What they saw was nothing short of shocking. The human inside was alive. The cryogenic chambers had successfully preserved humanity for an unprecedented amount of time, far beyond what any alien species thought possible. The Federation had assumed the humans' primitive technology would not have been able to survive the harsh conditions of deep space for so long, but they were wrong. The human was carefully revived, and as the ship's systems hummed to life, the human's eyes slowly opened. He looked around at the alien faces staring back at him, the crew members in their highly advanced exosuits and body armor. He blinked, taking in his surroundings, and then a smile appeared on his face. "I didn't think I'd make it," he said, his voice hoarse, filled with a quiet strength. "But I'm here." Zorath, stunned, exchanged glances with his crew. This was a moment of great significance, and yet they were all uncertain of what it meant. A lone human, from a species that had been wiped out millennia ago, was now awake, but his calm demeanor unnerved them all. The Federation had long ago relegated humanity to the pages of history, dismissing their potential in favor of more advanced races. The human, named Nathan, was quickly brought to the Federation's homeworld for further examination. The Galactic Federation's council convened, and the decision was made to present him before the leaders of the greatest races in the galaxy. A spectacle, they called it, a way to show that even in the face of extinction, humanity had survived. Nathan stood before the Federation's Grand Council chamber, a mix of awe and suspicion in the eyes of those present. The room was filled with representatives from a dozen different species, each more powerful and intelligent than the last, and yet they all stood in the presence of one human. The silence was deafening as the supreme leader of the Federation, a towering alien known as Tarvik, addressed the human. "Human," Tarvik began, his voice echoing across the vast chamber. "Your species was believed to be extinct. Your world Earth was nothing more than a memory in the annals of history. Tell us, how is it that you are here? What can you possibly offer to a galaxy that has moved far beyond your primitive ways?" Nathan's gaze remained steady, his posture unwavering despite the gravity of the situation. He was no longer the last of his kind. He was humanity's last hope. You may have moved beyond us, but we were never as primitive as you thought. Humanity survived not because we were weak, but because we fought for it, because we adapted. We may have been knocked down, but we are not gone. The council members, once skeptical, began to murmur amongst themselves. They had underestimated the humans. In all their time spent conquering the stars, they had never considered the possibility that humanity could still be alive, that they could still return from the brink of extinction with the same tenacity that had once made them the apex predators of their own world. And that's when the real shock came. Nathan smiled as he activated a small device hidden in his jacket, a relic from an age long past. The Federation members could only watch in stunned silence as their own ships began to malfunction, their communications cut off, and their advanced weaponry failed. It wasn't the work of magic. It was the work of human ingenuity. Nathan had brought with him an ancient code, one that had been embedded in his mind during the long years of cryosleep. It was a code that, when activated, could disrupt the technology of even the most advanced civilizations. "We didn't survive," Nathan said, his voice firm. "We were never meant to be forgotten." The Federation was left with a single undeniable truth: humans were back. And they were not to be underestimated again. As the council members scrambled to regain control, Nathan stood tall, the weight of humanity's legacy on his shoulders. The galaxy had long feared that humans might return. Now they were faced with the reality. Humanity had awakened, and nothing would ever be the same again.